Hey, it's Tara, your yoga bestie, and thanks so much for being here with me today. Got a very exciting practice. No props are needed, but I always like to have my two blocks and my dog. Just kidding, but not kidding. So feel free to bring your dog. They might show you up and down dog though. Just saying, and up dog. But anyway, make your way to your mat. Find a reclined position. So we'll start out on our backs, but if you prefer breathing in a different space, you can always do that too. And settle in by figuring out where you want to place your arms and legs, maybe wiggling into that space. And once you've found that spot, go ahead and close your eyes as we start to tap into our Ujjayi breath. So inhaling and exhaling through the nose, letting go of any thoughts or worries so that you can focus on your breath, which is our energy source throughout our practice. So as we inhale, we'll feel the space right below the navel start to lift. As it draws upward, we'll feel an expansion through our bellies, the side bodies, the rib cage, and our breath draws all the way up to where it lifts the collarbones. And then on our exhalation, we'll feel our belly button draw in towards the spine, allowing us to use all three parts of the lungs. Our Ujjayi breath is an audible breath, so we're gonna hear a snoring-like sound in the back of the throat, kind of like we're fogging up a mirror with our nose. So it's encouraged for you to hear your breath. That way we kind of also remember to breathe. So it's helpful with that. While you're tuning into that, we've been talking about the yamas in my class lately, which is the first of the 8 limbs of yoga. It's how we show up in the world. And we made it to the 5th or final of the yamas, which is Aparigraha, which is a fun word to say. It's one of my most fun words to say. Aparigraha. Anyway, it translates to non-attachment. And our focus for this practice is letting go of outcomes. So showing up to do the work, but releasing what the results are. Effort without attachment, curiosity without control. So today is about getting somewhere. It's about noticing what happens when we're trying to get somewhere. So you might even ask yourself, if nothing improved by the end of class, would it still be enough? Because you showed up, because you took out time for yourself, because you allowed yourself to be present and breathe and move. It's not an easy thing because we like to accomplish things, but being present and being here and taking time for yourself is accomplishing stuff. So let's see if we can let go of the outcomes and maybe even just come to our mats with a playful mindset today. It's time to play instead of practice, baby. On our next inhale, let's find a nice full body stretch. You can extend the arms up overhead, you can extend your legs out in front of you, any other movement that feels good at this time. Maybe moving your head from side to side, maybe making some rotations with the wrists, the ankles, just saying hello to your body. And then we'll bring our hands together at our heart center, our Anjali Mudra, as we set our intention for our practice, which might be letting go of outcomes. Or maybe something else comes to mind that speaks to you in this moment. Please honor that. We'll take another big breath in here. Exhale, let it go. Yeah, and then when you're ready, start to open up the eyes. We'll bring in some movements. We can bring our knees into our chest, just rocking along the spine, seeing how our body is feeling at this moment. Big breath in. And then on our exhale, bring those knees into your chest. You can give them a nice big hug, maybe round the spine, draw the nose towards the knees. And then keep your right knee in towards your chest as you lower the sole of the left foot down. We're coming into a half happy baby pose. So we can reach for the outside of that foot, or maybe we take our yogic toe hold as we lower that knee down. And this might be plenty, or you might find that there's some space to extend through that left leg. We just want to not float the leg, at least not yet. We'll get there soon. So you want to find some grounding by making a connection with the mat and your leg here as you keep working that right knee down. Take 2 breaths as you inhale. Exhale. Big breath in. And exhale. Now we'll extend that leg. So maybe it's, so now we can hover it if we want to, not a maybe, we want to hover it. We're going to come into a reclined version of our lizard pose. We'll bring both hands to the inside of this foot. Gaze stays upward. And we find these pulses up for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Nice. We'll bring that knee in and then come into a spinal twist, just bringing that leg across the body, taking a full breath in. Exhale, let it go. And then bring your gaze and your legs back to center. Maybe give them a little squeeze again. And we'll set up for the left side. So the left leg stays in as we move into that half happy baby pose. You determine where that right leg should be as we breathe into this hip. Two breaths as we inhale. Exhale. Big breath in. And exhale. Nice. We'll find that reclined lizard pose. We can hover that leg now as we reach up towards the sky. We'll pulse up for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Nice. Bringing that knee in and then moving into that twist as you bring that leg across the body. Allowing the body to surrender into the floor as you come into this space. Big breath here. Exhale, let it go. Bring our gaze and our legs to center. And we're going to rock and roll up to our standing forward fold at the front of our mat. So we can separate our feet about hip distance apart, which is about 2 fists in between the feet, maybe wider than that. And you might find an arm variation, like reaching for opposite elbows or bringing the arms behind the back. You might walk your hands from side to side. The main thing is that we want to start to shift our weight forward so we're not sitting back into the heels. You're going to feel that length in the backs of the legs. And see if you can let your head relax. So maybe shake the head out as if you're saying yes and no. And then we'll bring our feet together as we roll it all the way up to standing. As soon as our head lifts, let's reach those arms up and back. Exhale, bringing those hands to heart center. We'll work our shoulders up, back, and down as we lift up through the heart. And then on our inhale, arms reach, gaze lifts. Exhale, forward fold so we can swan dive or bring the hands through the heart. Inhale, we lengthen halfway. Exhale, plant those hands. Keep your gaze forward as you step it back to plank pose, nice and strong. Really spreading through the fingers, really wide, as you work that weight forward so you're not sitting near the heel of the hand or the wrist. Big breath in. Exhale, we'll slowly lower either all the way onto our bellies or we can hover. Inhale, cobra, or maybe up dog if you're ready for that. And we'll exhale into our first down dog of the practice. So in this down dog, find some movement or any little movements that help you warm up in this first down dog of the practice. So you might bend the knees and move the hips from side to side. You might bicycle the legs out. Just gonna see how your body is feeling. Full breath in. Exhale. And then lift up the right leg. We'll open up the hip, heel behind, up towards the ceiling, and work the left heel down. Stay here, start to make some circles, going in one direction, going in the other direction. On our inhale, we'll straighten that leg. Exhale, knee draws to your right tricep where we either hold or we lower down to the wrist and lift up like an elevator for 3, 2, 1, and then plant that foot to the outside of your right hand for our lizard pose. So now we're not doing it from a reclined space. And we'll start to shift forward and back from this space. So can come into our lizard, maybe lowering that back knee down as you lift up through the gaze in your chest. Exhale, it's almost like you're coming into a pyramid type of pose. Next time that you shift it forward, lower the back knee down and start to walk your hands towards the right. We're moving into a one-legged cow face pose. So your right knee is on top of your left leg as it's extended. And we're gonna walk our hands forward, keeping that foot flexed. So you're gonna feel a lot of sensation because your leg is pinned down by that right one. Let your head just kind of relax as you breathe into this space. Full breath in. Exhale. And then we're gonna move into prep for baby grasshopper. So we're going to be moving to and from these two so that in hopes of being able to use a little bit of momentum. Now I'm going to be facing the other side of you. So that's helpful. But what we're going to be doing is coming onto our left forearm, and the sole of our right foot comes onto the mat. And the idea is that we're bringing our chest forward and pushing into the mat to lift up our seat. So we're really just trying to lift our ass off the mat, to be honest. That's the main goal. So you can go between coming into a forward fold here to go into the side and see if you can just lift up that booty. And it's kind of a little bit more fun to try it as you move from one to the other instead of just trying to lift it up over and over again from this shape. You want to make sure that you're also drawing your shoulders back and lifting up through your chest. So it feels like you're on a conveyor belt as you draw forward. If you were to have a room full of yogis next to you, it's like you're trying to get the tea next to you. You're like, what's that person doing? What are they saying? And we'll be doing this quite a bit, so don't worry if it's not completely clicking just yet. It will, I promise. So we'll find an upright seated position, and we're gonna just rewind coming back to where we were in that lizard pose. And then just make your way into your plank pose from here, nice and strong. From plank, we're walking our hands all the way to the back, so hands will come to feet. And then we roll it all the way up, coming into our one-legged mountain. So arms will reach, right knee draws into chest. We can flex through that foot to help find some engagement, along with drawing it towards the center line of the body as you lift your gaze up. And then we step it forward, warrior three. So we can lift up that left leg. We could always come into a supported version with our hands down or maybe on props. But find your arm variation that you like. I like to have my hands on my hips as a reminder to keep them nice and square. Big breath in. As we exhale, step that left foot forward. So now you should be about at the front of your mat. And we'll come into a figure four chair. So we're sitting back into our left heel. Can reach those arms forward. Hands could come to heart. Arms might be on that leg, but we shift that weight back so you feel all that joy in the outer hip. Oh, I was trying to look at you and I fell over. All right. Big breath here. Exhale, step it back. Runner's lunge, and we can move through a vinyasa here, or we can go right to our down dog. Okie dokie, left leg lifts. Open up that hip, heel to behind, knee up towards the ceiling, staying. Or we make circles. And then we make circles the other way. And then we'll straighten that leg. Knee draws to your left tricep this time, where we hold, or we lower and lift like an elevator for 3, 2, 1. Lizard pose, bringing that foot to the outside of your left hand. And then we can start to shift forward and back in the space. Maybe it's a different experience than the first side. That's okay, that's normal. Next time that you shift it forward, go ahead and lower your back knee down, and then we'll start to walk towards the left, moving into that half cow face leg, half extended leg, right? So flex through the right foot and start to walk your hands forward, breathing space in the back of the leg. Let your head relax as you breathe into the back of the leg. One more big breath in. Exhale. And then we make our way upright. We go towards the right. That left foot is now on the mat. Can reach that left arm in front of the shin. And then we find that baby grasshopper prep. So we can go between these two movements, getting used to lifting that booty. That's the hardest part of arm balances, lifting that ass up. So, see how you do. Maybe even reach for that foot. Remember, you can bend that leg too, coming into full baby grasshopper. And then we'll make our way upright, We rewind again, making our way into our lizard pose, where we come into plank. And then we walk it all the way back to the back. Let's roll it up. One-legged mountain, left knee comes into chest this time as we lift up through the gaze, shoulders down. And then step it forward, warrior three. Whatever version you like. Really lifting up through that left quad muscle as you flex through your right foot. And then we'll step it forward, figure four chair. Bringing that left ankle above the knee, sit it into your heel. Find your arm variation. Maybe it's the same as the first time, maybe it's not. Breathing into this space, giving it love. Inhale. On the exhale, step it back. Move through your vinyasa or make your way to down dog. And once you find that down dog, big breath in. Exhale, soften the knees, gazing forward as you step or float to the front. Inhale, we lengthen. Exhale, forward. Let's reverse. Reach it up and back. Exhale, forward. Inhale, we lengthen halfway. Hands plant, gazes forward as we step or float it back. Making our way to down dog, so you can always skip the vinyasa. Big breath in. Exhale, soften the knees, gazing forward, we step or float. Inhale, lengthening. Exhale, forward. One more, let's reverse. Reach it up and back. Exhale, forward. Inhale. Exhale, plant, gazes forward as we make our way to our down dog. Or any resting position of choice, right? How you doing? That's our warm-up for today, which means you are so ahead. So don't feel like you've barely done any of the practice, because our warm-up includes most of the poses that we do in our two main sequences, which I call peanut butter and jelly. So we'll do peanut butter 3 times. We'll do jelly 3 times, and at the end, we bring them together for one delicious peanut butter and jelly sequence sandwich, which is the best part of the practice. And it's also my favorite and your favorite because it's the end. So know that when we repeat, you always have the option of instead playing during that time or just being like, I'm going to let this round go. Listen to what you need. Let go of the outcomes like we're doing. We're practicing our Aparigraha. And let's meet in down dog. Let's get this peanut butter going. So from that down dog, inhale, right leg lifts. Exhale, knee draws to your right tricep where we hold. Or we lower and lift for 3, 2, 1. Plant that foot for lizard pose. We'll lift up through the chest, drawing those shoulders back as we lower the back knee down. And then we'll walk towards the side. So we're setting up for that half cow face leg, which is not easy to say. Forward fold to our baby grasshopper prep. And we can move through this 3 times. Maybe during one of these preps, we find our foot and we find our full baby grasshopper. Even if it's for a second, that counts. And then we unravel, coming back into our lizard pose where we ground down, and we'll inhale into our reverse warrior, reaching up and over so our hips are square to the side. Keep softening through that forward knee as you keep a super strong back leg. Inhale. Exhale, gaze to the back, pivot to the back, runner's twist. So right hand is down, left arm reaches up. And when you come here, you would prefer to add on to it like horizon lunge or a side plank, totally cool. I won't be calling it, but if that's what you would like to do, please go for it. Big breath in. Exhale, lower that left hand down. One-legged down dog, so we go right to the other side, bringing that knee to our tricep, where we hold or we lower and lift for 3, 2, 1. Plant that foot lizard pose. We lift up through the chest as we lower the back knee down. And then we're walking to where we come into this half cow, that's what we're gonna call it, to our baby grasshopper prep. So move through that about 3 times. I'm not keeping track. Maybe we find that baby grasshopper. Woo. And then we'll unravel. We're in our lizard pose, facing the back as we ground down through the back foot. We inhale, reverse warrior. So continue to soften through that knee to keep a strong and straight back leg. Big breath in. Exhale, gaze to the back. Pivot back to the front of your mat. So left hand is down, right arm is up. You know that you can always add different variations if that's what you need or if that feels valuable to you. And then bring that hand down and we'll start to pick up the pace on this. Right leg left. Knee to tricep. We hold or we lift and lower for 3, 2, 1. Lizard, lifting up through the chest, lowering that back knee. And then we make our way to our half cow, to our baby grasshopper prep. I'm doing this 3 times. You could choose to do one of these things and hold it for that time if you'd like. Maybe you find that full baby grasshopper. And then we'll rewind it back to our lizard pose where we inhale, reverse warrior. Exhale, gaze down. Inhale, runners twist to the back. Exhale. And then we go right to the other side where knee comes to tricep and we hold or we lower and lift for 3, 2, 1. Lizard pose, lifting up through the chest, lowering the knee as we come into half cow to baby grasshopper prep. Sometimes I just like to make sound effects. Maybe find the baby grasshopper. And then we release lizard to our back. Ground down as we inhale, reverse warrior. Exhale, gaze to the back. And then left hand is down, right arm reaches up. Last round, right leg lifts. Knee to tricep where we hold or we lower and lift for 3, 2, 1. Lizard pose to half cow. Baby grasshopper prep. Forward fold, lift up my butt. Forward fold, lift it up, maybe find your foot. And then we come into lizard. Ground down as we inhale, reverse warrior. Exhale, gaze to the back. Runners twist. And then left leg lifts. Knee to tricep, we hold or we lower, lift for 3, 2, 1. Lizard, chest. Bring it into half cow to baby grasshopper prep. Booty lift. Maybe find that baby grasshopper. And then we've come to the back of our mat for our lizard pose where we ground down, inhaling reverse warrior. Exhale, gaze to the back. Runners twist. And then we can go through a vinyasa, or we can find our down dog, or we can just lower those knees because peanut butter is done. How we doing? I hope it's amazing. Are we ready for jelly? You're doing so good. Be big proud of yourself. Maybe get a drink of water or San Pellegrino, aka not Topo Chico. It'll come back. It'll be a sweet, sweet day when it does. All right. So, what do you think? I think we lean at the front of our mats. And as we do, let's bring our shoulders up, back, and down. Feel the side bodies expand as we inhale. Feel it draw in as you exhale. Check in. We're letting go of outcomes. Put a big smile on your face. It's time for jelly. Inhale, arms reach. Exhale, forward. Inhale, we lengthen. Exhale, plant the hands, plank pose. From that plank pose, walk your hands all the way to the back. We'll roll it up for one-legged mountain. So right knee draws in as arms reach up overhead. Step it forward, warrior 3. Step it forward, figure 4 chair. Now, maybe you want to come into an arm balance from here. And you might go Are we gonna do Mama Grasshopper? You could. That's not what I'm gonna go through. I'm gonna take you through Flying Pigeon. If you have blocks or props like that, they're great because they bring the floor closer to you because you wanna kind of tuck your leg into your armpits and push into the blocks as you shift forward and lift. So you can kind of teeter-totter this to see what happens. And remember, again, 1 second counts. So have fun, see what happens. Bring your gaze forward, don't look down at your hands. When we look down at our hands, our butt starts to lower. And if you're watching what I'm doing, I have my butt so lifted because that's the only way to get into this. If I bring this down, that is so hard. Like, it feels nearly impossible, but if I bring it down and then bring my gaze straight down, that's like next level hard. So if you're gonna try it, give yourself a break, okay? Totally optional. We'll only go through it once on each side. So if you're coming from your figure 4 chair, we're just bringing that foot back for Sky Archer. So our hips will reach for that left wrist. Bring breath in here. Exhale, gaze to the back. And then we bring those hands down and we find plank pose. Yes, another infinity flow. Let's walk it all the way to our feet. We roll it up. Arms reach. Left knee draws into chest for one-legged mountain. We'll step it forward. Warrior 3. We'll step it forward. Figure 4 chair. We can stay here. If you're playing with that flying pigeon pose, try to work that arm or that leg into the armpits. And maybe with blocks, maybe not. See if you can teeter-totter. Without the blocks, you think about bringing in more of a claw type of situation to your hands. And if you have it for a bit, maybe you start to extend through that leg. Only if it's working for you. But just be open to possibility. Let go of outcomes, right? So from our figure 4 chair, we'll step that left leg back, Sky Archer, reaching for that right wrist as we lean it back. And then we gaze down and we make our way to our plank pose facing the front of our mat. And we'll start to pick up the pace on this. We'll roll it up. Right knee into chest, one-legged mountain. We step it forward. Warrior 3. We step it forward. Figure 4 chair. And then we step it back. Sky Archer. And then we gaze back and make our way to plank pose facing the back of our mat, where we walk it all the way to our feet. We'll roll it up. Left knee into chest. Step it forward. Warrior 3. Step it forward. Figure 4 chair. We step it back, Sky Archer, and then we gaze down as we make our way back to plank pose facing forward. Walk it to your feet. Roll it up. One-legged mountain, we step forward. Warrior 3. We step forward. Figure 4 chair. To Sky Archer, reaching for that left wrist. Gaze down, coming into plank pose facing the back. Walk it to the feet. We'll roll it up. Left knee draws into chest, one-legged mountain. Step it forward. Warrior 3. Step it forward. Figure 4 chair. Inhale, Sky Archer. Exhale, gaze to the back. We make our way to plank pose, where we can lower our knees, or find child's pose, or find our down dog. But you did it. That's chilly. Which means one thing. It's time. It's peanut butter and jelly time. And I want you to first off, be so excited that you made it here, because this is no small feat, but also be so stinking excited. We're gonna do this one more time. We're bringing these together one more time, and then we're done. Let's do it. Down dog. We're letting go of outcomes. So if your outcome is going to reclined position right now, I like that for you. I love that for you, actually. But otherwise, down dog, let's do this. Inhale, right leg lifts. Exhale, knee to tricep, where we hold or we lower, lift for 3, 2, 1, lizard pose, lifting up the chest. We lower that knee and we walk it to the side for our half cow to our ass lift. Baby grasshopper burp. 3 times. Maybe we find that baby grasshopper. It's so cute. And then we move into our lizard pose, facing forward where we ground down. Inhale, reverse warrior. Exhale, gaze to the back. Pivot to the back for your runner's twist. And then we move into plank pose. Hands to feet. Roll it up. One-legged mountain, right knee draws in, and then we step it forward for warrior 3. And then we step it forward for figure 4 chair. We step it back as we inhale, sky archer. And then we pivot to the front where we make our way to down dog, which means the first side is done. Left leg lifts. Exhale, knee to tricep where we hold or we lower and lift for 3, 2, 1. Lizard pose, chest lifts, knee lowers. And then we'll walk it to our half cow, to our booty lift. Yeah. Half cow, booty lift. I don't know, whatever. Half cow. Booty lift, maybe we find that baby grasshopper. And then we move into lizard pose, grounding down as we inhale, reverse warrior. Exhale, gaze to the back, runner's twist. And then we find that plank pose. Walk it to your feet. Roll it up. Left knee draws in, one-legged mountain. We step it forward, warrior 3. We step it forward, figure 4 chair. And then we bring it back as we inhale, sky archer. Exhale, gaze back. Making our way to our plank pose, where we can find down dog or any resting position of choice, because you did it. Awesome. We will find a seated position and do whatever you need, like toweling off or getting water. But after you've done those things, find yourself in a seated position with just find stillness here. Slow down the breath. Maybe put a big, big smile on your face because you just did so much amazing. Be so grateful for showing up to your mat today, so grateful for all that you were able to do, and grateful for this feeling that you have now that was created only by you. So be proud of yourself. And feel free to close down your practice from more of a seated meditative space, or if you want to go into a full reclined Shavasana, which is where we started our practice, there isn't a bad option. And then as we make our way into that final space, give yourself permission to just let go, to just be, to allow this practice, this feeling to sink in, which you so deserve. Your breath is soft. Your body is still. Shavasana. As always, stay here as long as you like. But if you are ready, start to bring in some small movements to the body. We will come together in a seated position. Hands will come to heart center, and we'll tuck our chin under. Thank you so much for joining me today. Thank you so much for practicing and letting go of outcomes. The idea is that we take these lessons with us when we leave the mat, because that's when our true yoga begins. So please take your yoga with you. And until next time, namaste.